penny penny. Got me in my feelings. Gotta be real with it.
Welcome back!
Welcome back!
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back!
Welcome back!
Welcome back, Eagles!
Welcome back, Eagles!
Welcome back!
Welcome back!
Welcome back!
Welcome back! Welcome back! Welcome back, Eagles!
Welcome back! Welcome back!
Hi, welcome back to KF. Hope you had a great summer.
Welcome back, Eagles!
Welcome back. I am so excited. Pumped up. Yay. Go Klein Forest.
Welcome back!
Welcome back.
Welcome back!
Welcome back. Welcome back, Eagles.
Welcome back, Eagles! Welcome back, Eagles! Welcome back, Eagles!
Welcome to the 2018 and 2019 school year of Klein Forest.
Welcome back, everybody.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown a mind. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the pain sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. Yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. Oh, we are glorious. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown my mind. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown a mind. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. This is me. I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown me. This is me. stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown a mind. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown a mind. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
Welcome back, Clown Forest Eagles. All right, the reason why I'm here to talk to you guys today, I'm gonna get straight to it, is we need to make sure that the expectations for our campus are stellar, just like you guys are. You guys are the best thing that has happened to us every day that you come to school. We want to make sure that you have an awesome day. We want to make sure that you're protected. We want to make sure that our building is safe. And we also want to make sure that education is happening all around the building. So that means we want to make sure our teachers are teaching you. We want to make sure that you guys are learning, and we want to make sure that you have fun while you're doing it. So we want to make sure that we put some things in place. Everywhere you go in America, we have to have structures. We have to have procedures. We have to have rules. We have to have guidelines. We have to have things that we make our day flow very naturally. We want to make sure that everything that happens every day is not a surprise. So we have to put some things in place to make sure that those things happen. So the things I'm going to talk to you about today are things you already know. These are not things that are new. It shouldn't sound like something you don't want to hear. You should be all the way tuned in to what I'm saying, because everything I'm going to say to you is something you already know. But I want to make sure that we've cleared all minds, made sure that everything that's important to us is also important to you. And there's going to be several times this year where we want to hear from you. You can tell us what's important for you to be successful on campus. You can tell us what's important to you as it pertains to activities, things you want to see happen on our campus. There may be some suggestions throughout the year you want to see happen around our building, and there's going to be a time for that. And we want to explore all of those things. But we're also going to challenge you to do what's right. That's being kind. We want to make sure that we're doing a great job of making every child in our building and in our district enter with a promise and exit with a purpose. That's the whole reason why you're here. Now, when I was in high school, we had a lot of different things that kids could participate in, a lot of activities, a lot of clubs, a lot of organizations, a lot of athletic things that happen across the building. The same thing goes here at Clown Forest. The problem sometimes becomes when we have to take those things away from individuals, and it's not a lot. We have over 3,700 kids that attend here every day. So it's not the mass majority of students that need these structures, because they're going to do it right anyway. It's a few small percentage of students that maybe need a little more tender love and care, is what I'll call it. So I'm trying to make sure that everybody understands what our expectations are at this time. So I'm going to go through a couple of things. We're going to talk about attendance. We're going to talk about what discipline looks like. We're going to talk about credits. We're going to talk about tardies. We're going to talk about absent without permission. We're also going to talk about bullying. We're going to talk about keeping our building beautiful. And I'm just going to sprinkle on those things because every Monday throughout the school year, we're going to have an area of time that actually has character education lessons. That character education is something that has helped us become a recognized campus as State School of Character. You heard us talk about that last year. We're extremely excited about it, but we are not finished. We're not done. We want to be a National School of Character, and the only way we can do that is if all of you are just as invested in that goal as we are. So some things we need to tighten up. Attendance. Everybody here knows that the state law requires that every child be in school all day in every period, and I'll repeat that. The state law, not Clown Forest rules, not Clown ISD rules. This is the same rule for Spring ISD, Aldine ISD, HISD. The state law requires that every student is in school all day, every period. That's all day, every period. So when we stop you in the hallway because you're walking around and you should be in class, you don't have to be mad at us about that. The state law requires that you should be in class, and there's no classes in the hallways unless we see a teacher. That means we should see more students in the hallway that belong to that individual teacher. So when you're walking around and you're not where you're supposed to be, that's considered out of area. And a lot of times the consequence will reflect that. Out of area means you're truant. You're not in the right place. You're supposed to be in class, but you're in the hallway. Those are things, once again, I know you already know. I'm just reminding us of what our expectations are for the year. And I want to make sure that you guys do a really good job of it, because we need to make sure that every student is also earning all of their credits. The whole purpose of high school, I think, is to graduate. So you have to be in class to get your credits. And you can't get your credits if you're not in class. I've seen several students do this, and this is what I don't want you to do. Several students are extremely smart. I mean, super smart. They don't have to study. They get their work done. But at the end, they don't earn their credit in their class. And the reason for that is because they are denied credit. Well, you denied credit because you weren't actually in the class. You were turning in your assignments, but your seat time now is a problem. Seat time meaning you were not in your seat in the class. That's the attendance piece. So that's why we stress that. We want to make sure that you guys know that while we know you are extremely intelligent, we need to make sure that you're physically present. We need to talk to your parents sometimes about this as well. So when we tell you we have to call your parents, sometimes your parents have to get involved, it's because you're not doing that. And it's a bare minimum. The bare minimum performance from you says you come to school and you go to class. That's the bare minimum. Anything outside of that is extra. Extracurricular, extra for fun. We want you to bare minimally come to school and go to class. And if you're in class, we want you to learn. You're learning, you're getting credit. You're getting credit, you're graduating. So that's what we want to have happen. Now, as it pertains to passes, we want to make sure that every student that is in the hallway has a pass. We're going to be talking to your teachers all year long, making sure that they're providing you that pass, but make sure you use that wisely. We don't want you getting a pass to just roam the hallways. If there's a restroom and you requested to go to the restroom right outside of your classroom, go to that restroom. We shouldn't see you in another area of the building or another floor. That's considered out of area. So you have to make sure that those things are in place as well. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is being absent without permission. That's when you're in the hallway and you don't have a pass. And you're intentionally in the hallway without a pass. You had no goals and aspirations of going to class in the first place. We do have some students that do that, but sometimes we need to just have special conversations with you so we can make sure that you understand we need you here, but we need you in class. And if we need to have those conversations, we are well equipped to do so. We don't have any problem doing it, but we want to make the best of our time. We also want to make the best of your time. We don't want to waste your time. We want to make sure that you're learning what you want to learn every day, in addition to the things that you have to learn in order to get your high school graduation underway. Now, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is this new initiative that we had in our district. We have in our district called Culture for Caring. We want to make sure that our students are being kind. That's a part of our core values. Our core values for Clown Forest are be the legacy. We want you to embrace diversity. We want you to live the golden rule. We also want you to practice mindfulness. We want you to radiate all of the school spirit and joy that you can. You can do that by participating in different activities, organizations throughout the year. You can do that just by I want to say, just being proud of where you are coming from and where you are going to. And that ties and goes right along with what we want our building to look like. We did a really okay job, but I know we can do better when it comes to keeping our building clean. In the morning times, you guys have breakfast in the commons. There are several garbage cans right around you. Guys, you don't put trash on the floor at your house. I know you don't. There's no one that puts trash on the floor in their house. It's not on purpose. So when you make that mistake here at campus, we want to make sure that you fix that. You have to pick it up. And don't be mad when somebody like me, this is always me, I've met a lot of students this way. Don't be mad when people like me come up and just ask you to pick it up. I don't need to hear you tell me I didn't do it. I know you didn't. But if I had been right there when the person who did it actually dropped it, I would have asked them to pick it up. The problem is I'm walking up and it's just trash you're standing around. And I don't want people standing in trash. That's not a good representation of our building. I'm very prideful about where we work and where we come every day. So I want you to feel the same way about your building. So if you see trash, pick it up. Just pick it up. And if I ask you or someone else around you asks you to pick it up, pick it up. Now, if you're the one that threw it there, I need you to start seriously thinking about how that makes you look and how that makes our school look. And then think about how it makes us feel when we're doing a really good job of trying to do it and then we watch somebody else destroy it. So be really, really careful with those things and be mindful that we're going to be taking care of that at a high level this year. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is how I want us to think about how we treat people. Bullying is something that across our nation has always been a problem. It's not something we speak a lot about, but we also have a lot of things that happen because of it. I want to make sure that you know that we know bullying does happen. We know it does. The issue is we want to make sure that we have enough students in our building that know what the right thing is to do every day when that happens. Don't ignore it. If you see somebody struggling with somebody teasing them or doing something that they don't really like, do a really good job of making sure that those people feel protected because you saw it. We had an initiative or a character lesson last year that said, if you see something, say something. We want to make sure that you guys do that. We want, if you see it happening and you know it's not right, protect that person, especially if they're not strong enough to do it themselves. And also make sure you're telling an adult. We're going to have a number of adults in our hallway this year. All of our teachers are required to be at their door greeting you with a smile. And you don't have to feel odd about that. It doesn't have to be awkward. We're greeting you because we want you to greet us. I mean, we're human too. We want you to like us like we like you. And sometimes we don't like you. But we don't like you sometimes because you're not doing the right thing. And that's why we are always trying to put these expectations in place. But at the same time, everybody gets a do-over. So that means if it happened yesterday, that was yesterday. We get a new, fresh start tomorrow. So I want to make sure that you guys are having good encounters in the hallways, great relationship building with your teachers, and you're doing a great job of taking care of your peers from day to day. Now, a not so popular topic is also something that happens in our building, but we need to talk about it. Social media, as well as altercations, verbal and physical. It became a little bit of a problem last year when we saw videos of our students verbally and physically doing some things that are not necessarily kind would be right. We saw some of our students doing some things last year that was not nice. Those things that they were doing were mean, for lack of a better word. And to record those things means that we obviously have not put ourselves in tune with what's right for people. So we need to do a really good job this year paying attention to what we're recording and what we see as entertainment. I can totally respect a movie on TV because someone's getting paid to do that. A message that somebody's trying to send on TV because someone's getting paid to do that. But when you have great excitement towards somebody else hurting or some fight that's occurring, some altercation, some verbal one, if you have joy when you watch those things and you don't know how to turn away or turn it off, or you're not the one that's recording that, there's some mature levels that we need to get to. And we're here to work on that. I just want to make sure that you also keep in mind that I'm very passionate about the message we send to the outside world about what kind of campus we are. We are a great school, and we have great staff, and we have awesome and phenomenal students. And I want to make sure every publication, every social media website reflects that. So if I ever find myself in a scenario where I have to talk to an individual about that, that's how serious the conversation is going to get. Because I want to make sure that you guys hear me and hear me well. We have great things going on here at Clown Forest High School. And we have a phenomenal opportunity to make a difference in the world with each and every one of you guys entering with a promise and exiting with a purpose. And the only way you guys can be successful at doing that is if you understand the ramifications and the effects of your behavior on a day-to-day basis. Another expectation that we have here is documentation and paperwork. We need to make sure that everything that we do here on campus is accounted for. We do that when we go to financial office by way of payments. That's why we don't receive money from you throughout the building. We make sure that you know where the finance office is so that you can make those payments. Another part to that is our documentation to know that you are a student here at Clown Forest. Elementary students have to do it. Middle school students have to do it. There's always a set of paperwork every year that you have to turn in. This year, lucky for you and your family, it's going to be online. But we want to make sure that you guys know that with things that we have to turn in, there are deadlines. You have it in class. You have things you have to actually get finished with. So you need to make sure that you're turning those things in a timely manner. Well, the same thing with documentation for you. We need to make sure that when your student forms are told to you and when they actually are, you need to make sure you're doing a great job of turning that in. This year, our documentation has to be turned in on August the 24th. August the 24th is the date. So you need to make sure that your parents have went online and verified all information online and made sure that they've turned that in. You want to make sure you do it by the deadline though. We have a whole week. That means beginning today till Friday. You need to make sure your parents are doing a great job of going online and verifying that information. The only thing that will physically come like in your hand is the form for laptops. And you want to make sure that you do that timely too. Guys, there are several ways you can be successful. The best way to be successful at Clown Forest High School and at any Klein ISD school is to have a laptop. To have it paid for, go ahead and take care of it. You're going to be in a scenario a lot of times where it's going to be difficult to do your work if you don't have one. So make sure you get the form, you have it signed, and you start making payments because we sometimes have payment arrangement plans, but every student has to get a laptop, so every student has to pay for one. And we need to make sure that those things are taken care of. In addition to that, you want to make sure you take care of it as if you bought it, which means you need to take care of it and you're not injuring it. It's not something that you don't take care of. So make sure that this is something you take care of really, really quickly right when school starts, and make sure you meet that deadline on August the 24th. So that means that pick up trash around the building, and when you're talking to people, you're doing a really good job of being kind. You speak to people the way you want to be spoken to, even when they don't speak to you that way. And in the event that people are not doing what you feel like is, I'm going to say kind, because that's a good word to use. You need to come talk to me about it. I welcome anybody who comes in my office and tells me that someone's not doing something and it makes them feel a certain kind of way. I want to make sure that I hear you out, but I also want to make sure that you're willing to hear how maybe your behavior or how your tone may have also played a part in that. But that's because all of us are still growing. I want to let you know that we have an opportunity, a great opportunity to be people that are humans, that are always growing. We're forever learners. I want to make sure that you know that we are never finished with growing. And if you guys do a really good job of communicating this year and being able to authentically express yourselves in a way that's respectful to you and something that is open enough to adults, I think we'll have a wonderful relationship throughout the school year. We just need to make sure we lay a good foundation for our expectations. Our expectations in our building, they have to be put in place. We have to provide safety for all of you. And some of the rules you're not going to like. You're just not going to like them. But aside from you not liking them, you challenging them, you need to counter them with something better. Not something easier. Because sometimes easy is not best. We need to make sure that you guys come up with ideas that are going to both be something you're seeing but also something that is going to be aligned with what our safety procedures are. So if you have questions for me, my office is in the back hallway, at the end of the hallway, where Mr. Alexander's office was last year. My door is always open unless it's closed. And then when it's closed, I'm probably in a meeting with someone, but I always have a secretary that will basically tell me who you are if you leave your name first and last, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But I want to make sure you guys take advantage, real good advantage of your administrators this year. Your administrators have a job that you may or may not know doesn't revolve around discipline. If we had a school that didn't have any disciplinary problems, your principals would probably be one of the best people that you would spend time with, because a lot of students think that those people are people that just issue consequences. No, they're humans. They would much rather be doing something else. The issue is that's part of the job. So if you do a really good job of building relationships with your counselor, your assistant principal, and the secretary in that office on a positive note, you'd be surprised what kind of relationship and what kind of limits you may have, because the sky will be the limit at that point. I want to make sure you guys have a wonderful 2018-19 school year. We're looking forward to the graduates of 2019, but we also are looking forward to those of you who are coming up right behind them. Be the legacy, leave a mark, and make sure it's a positive one. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, do you want a free t-shirt?
Like a really, really free t-shirt?
Let me show you how to get it, buddy. Come over here, go ahead and follow Klein ISD, and then go ahead and follow Klein Forest, and we're gonna put your name and your Twitter into a raffle.
I'm talking real free.
Like big, big free. So go ahead. Big, big free. So go ahead. Do that now, and we'll see you at the raffle table.
Yeah. I tried to show 'em. Yeah. Gone on you with the pick and roll. Younger flame, he in sicko mode. Made this here with all the ice on in the booth at the game.